Okay, so it seems like Hololive, or more so Cover Corp, have been taking action against a lot of kind of things that have been going on with their VTubers. And obviously, as a VTuber, sometimes what you'll get is a lot of people trying to impersonate you or trying to make up fake kind of stuff about you, right? And that tends to be an issue that many of them deal with, including obviously some of the members over at Hololive. Now, Hololive or Cover Corp have actually made a kind of response to some of the impersonations that have been going on, and it seems like it's actually way worse than just a simple impersonation that we see quite regularly in the VTuber community, right? Essentially, they put out this kind of thing here saying, "Thank you very much for continually supporting Cover Corp here and after Cover Corp." Cover Corporation here and after Cover Corp and Hololive production. We at Cover Corp have recently confirmed the existence of particular social media accounts and YouTube channels that use the names, profiles, and character designs resembling those of Hiodoshi and a former talent who has graduated from Hololive production, and Harusaki Nodoka, a former staff member of Cover Corp. So yeah, obviously these are the two VTubers or staff members, who have been, kind of impersonated here, obviously being one of them being Nodoka, who obviously graduated on the 30th of September, and also Hiodoshi here, who graduated on the 3rd of October. So these are recent kind of graduations. These aren't like members who have been graduated for a very long time, right? Or even for a little bit. These are people who have graduated within the last couple of months or so, which I think is pretty interesting to a lot of the kind of impersonation, right? They say these accounts and channels may mislead viewers into believing they're still officially affiliated with the company, but they have no affiliation with Cover Corp or the individuals concerned whatsoever. That any conduct that uses the name, profiles, or characters of the aforementioned individuals in a manner could potentially mislead fans, which may constitute impersonation. Cover Corp regards such conduct as a potential violation of moral rights, trade rights, trademark rights, defamation, damage of reputation, and an interference with business, and is prepared to take the appropriate civil and criminal legal action in cooperation with our affiliated companies, attorneys, and the authorities. The Cover Corp is taking similar action in response to identified instances of impersonation with regards to any Hololive production talents, not limited to those above. So yeah, say what we ask of our fans is to refrain from responding to them. As if you come across suspicious accounts, save the URL and report them to obviously the platforms. And then they say, if you believe that you have been or are concerned about being harmed as a result of such fake accounts, we kindly ask you to consult your local police or consumer affairs center. So yeah, obviously that's what they had to put out about this. And obviously it seems pretty interesting and pretty serious, right? Because many people have been talking about this, as well. Also including Chris here, who obviously says apparently some fuckers decided to bait fans into believing that Ao and Nodoka came back in some way and is impersonating them. Like, what? So again, obviously that seems like what is going on. Again, that is the only kind of like explanation I could see behind this as to why someone would want to impersonate them, especially considering they graduated, is to essentially, I guess, like bait them into thinking that they've come back and maybe donating or giving money, which obviously, yeah, it would be very interesting. And obviously it seems to be a big issue there, right? Obviously people saying parody accounts aren't allowed, right? And they said, yeah, it's a risky one to make parody accounts from VTubers, especially corporate ones. You can make those virus accounts and add your Oshi personality to it, but a copy of a talent's info is a no-go. That I've seen them around on JB Twitter. It's at least 3 accounts doing reincarnation impersonations to gather followers. So it says, here I'm learning that Ao graduated. Damn, I'm sorry about that. Said, yeah, the Ao one was anti-impersonating, sending threats to Miko. But it was really fun to see the anti get progressively more scared when they saw it wasn't all fun and games. So yeah, it seems like a lot of these people are using it to weaponize against other Hololive members, right? And they don't really know the consequences of their actions. And whenever they realized, oh wait, Cover are actually going to defend their VTubers, which they do a very good job at, by the way. I think they are one of the best in doing that. Obviously, some people have some issues with Hololive in other places, but, one thing that I think they do a really good job at is actually protecting their own talent and making sure that, they aren't impersonated or anything kind of goes on with them. So again, that is great, and that is a good part about Hololive and Cover and how they protect them. which, yeah, obviously is great to see. Obviously, Chris also goes on to talk about it as well, saying, you know, looking back, it does feel like this is no ordinary impersonation report. Impersonation accounts pop up all the time, which is, yeah, what I said, and they are usually dealt with by YouTube X TOS and Cover themselves, but they aren't made in special announcements like this one. This is different, which, yeah, I do think is true. I think they're totally right there. I think that, you know, usually how Hololive would deal with this, or Cover would deal with this, is that they would, you know, go to YouTube or Twitter and be like, hey, we got this account, we want to take it down, it's impersonating one of our talent, and then usually it'll get taken down, right? But this time they've decided to make a full announcement and even threaten legal action against them, which obviously, yeah, does make it seem a little bit different, you know? They said it's also coincidental that Cover specifically named Al and Nodoka, who have not reincarnated in any shape or form, at least not the official ones, since there does exist self-claimed reincarnations of them, but JP fans quickly debunked them as fake. You can argue that the fake Nodokas are harder for YouTube to detect, since she doesn't have a channel, but Alkin's channel is still up with videos intact, so if someone is stupid enough to make a carbon copy of the channel, YouTube would have struck them down before Cover even realized. So in a way, Cover did not just talk about the fake profiles, they also talk about the fake reincarnations of them, and they did not just add or the individuals concerned below. Maybe I was overthinking, but you have to agree this is no ordinary announcement, which, yeah, is true. So essentially what they're saying here is that maybe they're not like 100% impersonating them and creating a one-for-one channel to essentially pretend to be them, right? Maybe they are pretending to be the indie VTuber that comes from them, right? Because obviously, as you know, whenever a lot of VTubers tend to graduate, they tend to, yeah, turn into a different VTuber, as we've seen with many Hololive VTubers, including obviously Saba, and very many more who have obviously been a part of Hololive, right? And maybe potentially this could be a situation of people pretending, you know, obviously starting up an indie, you know, career and hinting at the fact that they used to be one of these people in Hololive, and that's how they've gotten their, you know, account popular. And I guess, yeah, that would be kind of impersonation, right? But at the same time, it isn't, you know, they're not fully copying it, which I thought was interesting. You know, we were saying these impersonators attempted to control fans by making aggressive statements and manipulating suggestions directed at the company. That I've seen on this day Twitter accounts that are Angura and Mume, and people freak out for a second thinking they were real and they came back, which, yeah, obviously, yeah, could also be the case. It could be people kind of farming, people thinking that they came back, right? Even more people saying, wonder if this is about a certain account I've seen pop up frequently over here with no face design yet, but a voice similar to Nodoka. Yeah, unlike PL such returns as indie, this one has been seen sketchy since day one. Said, yeah, some of them even got to me, and I thought for a second if they were really them, but just as fast as their PL said it wasn't them. I said, I gotta say, I'm really loving how Cover's legal team has been moving. They're so active with protecting their talents and associates. 100% true, by the way, even with the Hachama harassers as well. I said, I think, you know, yeah, Ange gives the same feeling as Al. I said, now you're saying it, I remember seeing a non-Holo EM member name as the Holo EN 5th generation and actually stream, which, yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of cases of people impersonating, but as Chris kind of puts here, you know, it seems like, you know, there is something slightly different with this one, to the point where obviously Cover felt like they needed to make an announcement and threaten to take legal action rather than just taking the account down, which obviously, as people have confirmed in the replies, has spooked a lot of these accounts a little bit into kind of slowing down their activities and stuff. So hopefully that is all they need to do to get the accounts to go down. But again, it seems like Cover are willing to, you know, go to bat for their talent, which obviously is great to see. And, you know, hopefully they do get a lot of this situation sorted. But yeah, I thought I'd keep you guys up to date with this situation, as I thought it was a pretty crazy one, as impersonation is not a joke in the VTuber community, especially recently, right? But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to give a like and subscribe. Also, go to Game Subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.